This is 8B. JD, can you verify, is this 8B? Okay, 8B from the PowerPoint, and I want you to be careful here of extraneous solutions. That means once we get all of our answers, we're going to go back and we got to make sure that when we plug it in, we don't end up with a 0 in the denominator. We can't consider a solution, even if we did all the math right, we can't consider it a viable solution if it would produce a 0 in the denominator. Let's get started. So I'm going to take 5 times the quantity, 2x minus 1, bring down the plus sign. I'm going to take 3 times the quantity, 2x plus 1, and I'm going to set it equal to 2. But what a lot of students forget is they forget to take the two denominators and push them together. You're going to take the product of the two denominators. Now, I personally would not take time at this point to FOIL that out. I'd leave it just as is. I'm next going to multiply the 5 and the 3. 10x minus 5 plus 6x plus 3 all over this quantity. Okay, let's combine like terms. 10x and 6x is 16x. Negative 5 and 3 is minus 2. And now if you want to, we can FOIL this. So I'm going to do front, outside, inside, last. And I can still combine like terms. 4x squared minus 1. Does that look right? Just want to make sure here. 4x squared plus 2x minus 2x minus 1. That all looks good. Equals 2 over 1. So how do we solve this? Any ideas? What did we do last time? That's one way, is cross multiply. I'm going to take 1 times the quantity, 16x minus 2. Taking 1 time, it doesn't do anything. I'm going to take 2 times the quantity, 4x squared minus 1. All right, here we go. 16x minus 2 equals 8x squared minus 2. Now, I'm always going to suggest we move everything to the side that has the x squared, especially if that leading coefficient is positive. So what I'm going to do, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these quantities over to the right-hand side. It was positive, it becomes negative. It was negative, it becomes positive. And now nothing is left on the left-hand side. I'm going to write this in order here. 8x squared minus 16x. Uh-oh, the 2's cancel. This really confuses students. Now, could we factor here and solve? I think we can. Could we use the quadratic formula if we were confused? We could. So let's talk about factoring this. What's the most you can take out of both these terms? What can you factor out of both these terms? 8. What else? X. 8x times x is 8x squared. 8x times negative 2 is negative 16. I'm going to take each one of these factors and I'm going to set it equal to 0 right now, and I'm going to solve. 0 divided by any value is 0. So I believe the answers are 0 and 2. But I can't be sure of that, because once I get to that point, I got to go back up to the very top, and I have to make sure if I plug in 0 or 2, would I get 0 in the denominator. So let's try 0. 2 times 0 is 0 plus 1, as long as it doesn't equal 0 in the end. So I'm checking 0 and 2. Again, 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is not 0. Good. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. That's not 0. So I know 0 works. Let's try 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 is not 0. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. It's not 0. Both of them work out. So we have two answers of x equals 0 and x equals 2.